A very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidushni Sadish Kumar.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipurarachi. And let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. The increased 1,000 rupees Samurdhi allowance will be paid from tomorrow. The professionals say that the trust placed in the president remains as it is. All measures are in place to purchase paddy in the Polonnaruwa district. Maravilla fisheries community protest without causing hardships to anyone. A prediction made stating that the severe stage of the corona pandemic could end by the middle of this year. Ipalagama lovers show their real meaning of true love.
In your local stories this evening, the Samurdhi allowance, which was increased by 1,000 rupees according to the relief package introduced by the government at the commencement of this year, is scheduled to be implemented from tomorrow. More than 1.7 million are expected to get the benefits. The government decided to provide many benefits to the people at the commencement of this year, considering the prevailing cost of living. Accordingly, the Finance Ministry announced a relief package of 229 billion rupees. The relief package has covered the entire population. The relief package also proposes to provide an additional allowance to the Samurdhi recipients. Minister Bassel Rajapaksa said that an additional 1,000 rupees will be given to all Samurdhi recipients who are getting 3,500 rupees from January. Steps have been taken to increase allowance of other Samurdhi recipients proportionately. There are 1,760,000 Samurdhi recipient families in the country. Samurdhi recipients who are getting 3,500 rupees as an allowance will get 4,500 rupees from tomorrow. The beneficiary amount of 2,500 rupees will be increased up to 3,200 rupees. Samurdhi recipients who are getting 1,500 rupees will get 1,900 rupees from tomorrow. The government spent 50,000 million rupees annually for Samurdhi benefits, and with the relief package, it will be increased up to 65,000 million rupees. The Department of Samurdhi Development said that measures are in place to make available increased relief assistance to Samurdhi recipient from tomorrow.
And meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that the nature or amount is not important about the challenges when making pledges given to the people a reality. The President mentioned this while taking part in the discussion of a series of conferences with professionals in various fields. The professionals said that the trust they placed in the President is remaining and they would give their support to him in future as well. The discussions took place on the 11th at the Presidential Secretariat. The President said the development activities of the country are continuing while taking steps to control the COVID pandemic. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that a sufficient number of tourists are arriving in the country. The economy is going. Many people do not remember what was achieved during the last 2 years. Some people even do not know. Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Niwad Kabral, said that $21 billion of exports have taken place yesterday. $4 billion of goods used by the people have been imported. Transactions to the value of $60 billion at a rate of 200 rupees are taking place in the country. There are 21% imports, 12 billion exports, 7 billion remittances, 14 billion of government transactions and 6 to 7 billion invisible exports of the private sector are there. The system balanced due to that rate. However, $1.5 billion have taken place at a rate of 240 rupees forex. That is what is in the minds of many. It is done under that rate. The government has to pay 6 billion of debt at 240 rupees, but not at 200 rupees. It was rumored that the country will go bankrupt on the 18th of January. $500 million have to be paid. The following day, there was a treasury bill auction. If he had not paid that amount, that auction would have failed. If that happened, those funds would not be received. The ordinary people, EPF, banks and other all stakeholders would have lost 91 billion rupees. These people prepare to push the government into such a crisis.
වැඩිපුර පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට වෙන් කරන්න වෙනවා මේ අය. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ බිලියන 240ක් කියලා කියන්නේ ඉන්කම් ටැක්ස් වගේ දෙගුණයක්. ජනවාරි මාසයේ 18 වෙනිදා මේ රට බංකොලොත් වෙනවා කියලා ලොකු ප්‍රචාරයක් ගියා. මොකක්ද ඒ විනාශය? 18 වෙනිදා තිබුණා ඒ මුදල ගෙවන්න. ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් මිලියන 500ක්. අපි ඒක නොගෙවුවා නම් ඊළඟ දවසේ තිබුණා අධිකාර ජනාධිපතිතුමනි ට්‍රෙෂරි බිල් ඔක්ෂන් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ භාණ්ඩාගාර බිල්පත් වෙන්දේසියක් තිබුණා ඊළඟ දවසේ. ඊට ඉස්සරින් තිබිච්ච දවසේ ගෙවලා තිබුණේ නැත්තම් ඒ ඔක්ෂන් එකට බිලියන 91ක් අපි දාපු ඒ ඔක්ෂන් එක ෆේල් වෙනවා. ඒ ඔක්ෂන් එක ෆේල් වුණා නම් මේ රටේ භාණ්ඩාගාර බිල්පත් වල මුදල් දාලා තිබිච්ච සියලු දෙනාටම මේ මුදල් ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කවුද මේ මුදල් අරන් තිබුණේ? ඒ අරන් තිබුණේ සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාව, EPF එක, බැංකු, ඒ සියලු දෙනාටම බිලියන 91ක් ඒ මොහොතෙන් නැතුව යනවා. ඒ මොහොතෙන් නැතුව යන්න නොවෙන්න නම් මහ බැංකුවට අච්චු ගහලා දෙන්න වෙනවා. එහෙම අච්චු ගහලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? හැම සතියෙම අච්චු ගහලා දෙන්නද? එතකොට ලොකු විනාශයකට අපි පෙළඹවන්න තමයි මේ වෑයම් කළේ.
The people who were at the meeting emphasized that they vehemently reject false ideologies published by certain groups for narrow political gains. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that after studying the shortcomings in the first season, we have now commenced visiting the farmers after finding solutions to those. The farmers who speak against these efforts are shown over media often. It is to agree with these steps that should be done is to educate the farmers.
විසඳුම් හොයලා අපි දැන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙලා තියෙනවා ඒ ප්‍රශ්න වලටත් එක්ක විසඳුම් එක්ක ගොවියා වෙතට යන්න. දැන් හුඟක් වෙලාවට ගොවියන්ගෙන් අහනවා මේකට විරුද්ධව කතා කරන අයම තෝරලා මාධ්‍යවල යන. ඒ මාධ්‍ය වල ඇහුවේ පළමුවෙන්ම ඔය අය ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් වශයෙන් මේකට එකඟද? එහෙම එකඟ නම් මේ කල යුත්තේ ගොවියා වෙතට යන එක නෙමෙයි ගොවියාව දැනුවත් කරන එකයි.
The professionals pointed out the need to use renewable energy sources and said that they would unconditionally support the government to overcome obstacles. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said the challenges come when changes are made. Challenges have to be placed to take forward renewable energy. Discussions have been held with the Electricity Board in this regard. The Asian Development Bank has given 2 experts to implement a proper methodology. The government has understood that a renewable energy source should be used.
මේ වෙනිට මට උපදේශකයන් දෙදෙනෙකුත් දීලා තියෙනවා මේක කොහොමද කරන්නේ මොකද මේකට තියෙන අපහසුතාවය කියන එක මේක කළ යුතු දෙයක් බව රජයක් හැටියට අපි අවබෝධ කරගෙන තිබෙනවා.
A group of professionals representing educational policies, social sciences, agriculture, research, hydro and renewable energy sources, medical, engineering and new inventions attended the discussions with the President.
District Cooperative Society says that all measures are in place to purchase paddy harvest of the Maha season in the Polonnaru district. Farmers say that they get more income due to high price for paddy. Chairman of the Polonnaru District Cooperative Society, Suranga Ajit Kumara, said that paddy stocks prepared according to the proper standards should be brought to paddy stock marketing centres. The government purchases a kilogram of nadu for 92 rupees, a kilogram of samba for 94 rupees and a kilogram of kiri samba for 96 rupees.
80,000 hectares of paddy fields have been cultivated in the Kurunegala district in Maha season using organic fertilizer. Farmers say that the harvest is of high quality. Harvesting of paddy fields cultivated using only organic fertilizer in the Kurunegala district is taking place. The farmers have received a bountiful harvest.
Well, our reporters say that vegetable prices at economic centres have decreased. Vegetable price of Capitipole Economic Centre, which distribute up-country vegetables, has rapidly decreased. Our reporters say that certain vegetables which exceeded 300 rupees for a kilogram have decreased up to 100 rupees at present. Accordingly, a wholesale price of a kilogram of radish is 20 rupees, a kilogram of tomatoes 140 rupees, a kilogram of cabbage is 30 rupees, a kilogram of leeks 120 rupees, a kilogram of brinjals 180 rupees. Secretary of the Capitipole Special Economic Centre, Premasiri Ekanayaka, said that prices have decreased since vegetable harvest of other areas have been brought to the market.
Health trade unions except Government Nurses Trade Union are continuing the strike, severely inconveniencing the patients. Government Nurses Trade Union under the chairmanship of former UNP MP Saman Ratnapriya left the strike yesterday according to the restraining order issued by the Colombo District Court. The other 17 trade unions are engaged in the strike. It is reported that activities of laboratories at hospitals and institutions of medicine have been disrupted. The strike is continuing when the health service has been declared as an essential service. The extraordinary gazette in connection with this was issued on Friday night. Nurses officers who left the strike have reported 4 duties today. Minister Kehali Rambukwala said that they have to work according to a framework. The people have been severely inconvenienced. We accept that the health sector is under a certain pressure. All they have to do is to manage the situation. Minister Dalasalaha Parma said that the people who cannot purchase medicine from private hospitals visit government hospitals. Voices should be raised for rights and struggles should be made, but attention should be paid if the people are facing hardships.
Well, on the same note, it is a right of workers to struggle for their professional rights, protest and strike. However, if it causes hardships to the people, it cannot be approved. A protest which did not cause inconvenience to anyone was reported from Maravilla. Fisheries community in Maravilla North Muhudukatuwa area came to the coast this morning to get the attention of the authorities for their problems. They did not have a boatyard for a long time to engage in fisheries activities. They pointed out that they are unable to engage in fisheries activities due to the rock bund built improperly near the boatyard they are using at present. They say that they are severely inconvenienced since they have to keep their equipment and boats in front of the church. They conducted a protest before the Sunday Mass at St. Anthony's Church.
Moving to the world update of the COVID-19 pandemic, WHO Chief Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus says that the acute phase of the pandemic could end by the middle of this year if about 70% of the world population are jabbed. COVID-19 has infected more than 410 million people and killed over 5.8 million people worldwide. He said that the responsibility of ending the acute phase of mid this year is in the hands of the global community. The Director General of World Health Organization also urged African countries to back efforts to set up an African medicine regulator. He said that the continental institutions such as Planned African Medicines Agency could cut costs and help fight counterfeit or poor quality drugs. Only 11% of Africans are vaccinated, the lowest rate in the world. Last week, the World Health Organization's African office said that the continent must boost its vaccination rate 6 times to reach the 70% target. Meanwhile, leading UK scientists have warned that a future variant of COVID-19 could be much more dangerous and cause far higher numbers of death and cause of serious illnesses than Omicron. As a result, many of them say that cautions need to be taken in lifting the last COVID restrictions in England. They also highlighted the dangers posed by accepting the widespread assumption that COVID-19 variants would continue to get milder in their impact with time.
Well, tomorrow is World's Lovers' Day. Love is not limited to a day or to a period. This story is about 2 true lovers. Although Ananda Rajakaruna and Malini Ganegoda are about 50 years, the love between them is very rich. Although they cannot see, they carry on the life without being burdened to anyone. They live in a small house which was donated from philanthropists at Ihelakagama, Maradankadawala area under Anuradhapura, Ipalugama Divisional Secretariat area. They live by managing the small amount earned by selling incense sticks and visually impaired allowance given by the government. Mr. Ananda Rajakaruna is visually impaired from birth. However, his wife Malini has lost eyesight due to an illness while she was studying for advanced level. Thereafter, she has stopped her educational activities. Thereafter, they have followed studies at Migaswar Visually Impaired School. The love story between them has built up during this time.
Women's Balamandala meetings of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna are taking place island-wide according to health guidelines. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Tangol Women's Balamandala meeting took place yesterday at Tangol Urban Council Hall under the patronage of Minister Namal Rajapaksha. State Minister D.V. Chanaka was present on this occasion. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Women's Balamandala meeting of Haputala Electoral Division took place at the Athalava Cultural Centre. It has been organised by MP Tissa Kutiarachi and attended by State Minister Indika Anuruddha and women members. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Min Area Seat Women's Balamandala meeting took place under the patronage of MP Amarakirti Atukorola at Hinguragoda. Minister Siripala Gamlat was present on this occasion. The Adigama Electoral Division Podujana Peramuna Women's Balamandala meeting was held today at Varakapala. A group of people including MPs Udekanta Gunathilaka and Tissa Kutiarachi were present on this occasion. Ambalangoda Seat Women's Balamandala meetings are held today under the patronage of State Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Yatiyantota Seat Women's Balamandala meeting was held yesterday under the patronage of State Minister Prasanna Ranavira. Berubala Seat Women's Balamandala meeting took place today under the patronage of MP Dana Gamage and State Minister Pyal Nishanta. Kolonnawa Seat Women's Balamandala meeting took place under the patronage of Chief Organizer Ajit Subasinghe. 600,000 rupees each were donated to preschools on this occasion. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Darunegala Seat Women's Balamandala meeting was held today at Dehi Ovita under the patronage of State Minister Prasanna Ranavira and former Governor Kumari Balasurya. And meanwhile, the project to develop Katharagama Detagamu Weber and its environs have been accelerated. Minister Chamal Rajapaksha made an observational tour of the area yesterday. The project includes a walking path broadening the main road with 4 lanes and construction restaurants. The project is scheduled to be completed before Katharagama Asala procession in July. The minister instructed officials to take steps to remove illegal settlers near Detagamu Tank and to resettle them in other suitable areas. State Minister Shashindra Rajapaksha also took part in the observation tour. Dharmapala Park, modernized under the Gold Town Development Program at a cost of 200 million rupees, is scheduled to be vested with the people on the 17th. Walking paths, beach parks, conservation of Gold Fort and other activities are taking place. Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana visited the area to inspect the development activities. The buildings that are under the small industries development at Kuliapitiya Dandagamu area, which have been abandoned, have been developed. They were opened yesterday to conduct courses related to batik production under the patronage of Minister Dayasiri Jayasekara.
Musician and activist Mario Ananda has directed a documentary on Wushu titled The Holy Grail of Chinese Wushu, narrating its significance. He has also launched a song on Wushu titled Kung Fu is My Game.
Of moral character.
Better fight, rock the world, take a bite, right through it, yeah.
The documentary and the song were released on the February 4th, celebrating and appreciating the freedom to live life to the fullest as healthy, intelligent and humanitarian citizens in unity for the betterment of the nation.
To raise a single finger to harm another person.
Gotta get myself some freedom, gotta get myself some power. Power is what I want. Freedom, power, glory. Kung Fu is what I wanna do.
A special Sehineki rap program in connection with the 40th anniversary of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation will be telecast at 10 p.m. tonight. This special program has also paid attention on the Valentine's Day, which falls tomorrow. It is the 300th Sehineki rap program. Sehne Ki Rap program marks 7 years today. A group of popular artists and sports personalities are taking part in today's program.
සිහිනයකි රෑ 300ක්
300ක්
අවුරුදු 7ක් එක දිගට අපි මෙතන ඕන කෙනෙක් ගෙහුවොත් සිහිනයකි රෑ නම් බලනවා කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. මට මගේ හුඟක් ව්‍යාපාරික ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ අය උගත් මිත්‍රයෝ ඒක මේ පෝස්ට් එවද්දි අද සිහිනයකි රෑ බලන්න තියෙනවා කියලා ලියලා එවන අයත් තිබ්බා.
ජාතික රූපවාහිනිය නොමැති නම් අපි නැත. අපිට මේ බිහි වෙන්නටත් අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ඉරුපායනවා මල් පිබිදෙනවා කුරුළු රැන්නෙනවා මැණිකේ හිනහෙනවා මැණිකේ හිනහෙනවා.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.